how an exportation or importation process is done? Well, we have. And so today I have brought to you a team of specialist members that are going to talk to you about the processes and requirements you could have on an importation process, for example. Specifically, we're going to take into an example Japan and Colombia, where we're going to talk about how an importation process will be done from Japan to Colombia. And so, for this video, we're going to take into consideration this specific product, a Toyota Corolla Cross. It is a full gasoline engine vehicle which is included in the HS code 8703. More specifically, we can go and see it in the code 87033210. And so when you're going to start an exportation or importation process, it is worth knowing the situation of your current countries or the countries that are going to be involved in the operation. So first of all, we're going to use the Global Competitive Index and the Logistic Performance Index to know the situation the countries are involved into. So, Japan, for example, has a Global Competitive Index of 82.27 points, while Colombia has a Global Competitive Index of 62.73 points. This actually shows us that the countries are in a situation that is good for the importation process, but that we have to take into consideration Colombia is way lower than Japan. While the Logistic Performance Index tells us that Japan is pretty good in logistics performance, while Colombia is worth knowing could have certain problematics. For the Logistic Performance Index, it is also important to know that this is built upon 6 different dimensions. Here are the scores for both countries. Up here is Japan and down here is Colombia. We can see that, for example, for infrastructure, Japan has a great infrastructure for the logistical process of the exportation, and that Colombia has a medium infrastructure level for the importation process. And the same we can say, for example, with the tracking and tracing scores, where we can see Japan is way higher than Colombia.
Now let's move on, and we are going to talk about the infrastructural analysis of both countries, Japan and Colombia. Japan's transportation infrastructure is highly developed, featuring a robust network of maritime ports, airports, and land transportation systems. The country relies heavily on maritime transport, with over 98% of international logistics passing through its ports. Major ports like Tokyo, Yokohama, and Osaka handle both domestic and international cargo. The efficiency of Japan's railway system, notably the Shinkansen, connects major cities with punctuality and extensive coverage. The government is actively enhancing airport efficiency and promoting land transport infrastructure development through initiatives like the Japan-Asian Comprehensive Connectivity Initiatives. On the other hand, Colombia's infrastructure landscape showcases significant progress, particularly in maritime ports, airports, and road transport. Colombia features 8 port areas, with Buenaventura and Barranquilla serving as major hubs for trade and commerce. The aviation industry has experienced notable growth, with 590 airports and aerodromes across the country. Key international airports like the Bogotá's El Dorado handle a significant portion of passengers and cargo traffic. Colombia's road infrastructure includes important highways like Ruta Nacional 40 and upcoming projects such as Bogotá Metro and 4G highways. However, challenges persist, including rural connectivity and broadband access gaps, which necessitate comprehensive development strategies focusing on empowering local networks and adapting to rural needs.
In the automotive industry, maritime transportation is the predominant choice for transporting vehicles over long distance due to its cost efficiency and well-developed global infrastructure. Specialized rubber ships designed for easy vehicle loading and unloading are common, along with conventional cargo vessels that can transport vehicles and containers. Although land and air transportation are available options, they are more costly and primarily used for shortened distance or when faster transportation is required. In summary, maritime transportation offers significant economies of scale and protection against adverse weather conditions, making it the preferred choice for mass car transportation internationally.
To transport heavy machinery and newly manufactured vehicles from the factory, including cars, a special ship called a ro-ro, roll-ons, roll-off ship, is usually used. This type of transport vessel is capable of carrying hundreds to thousands of cars in one trip. Here's a brief overview of the loading and unloading process on a ro-ro ship. A Ro-Ro ship is designed with several decks that are used to transport all types of vehicles. Unlike conventional cargo ships, Ro-Ro ships have a more complex design to accommodate the different types of vehicles. The cost of building a Ro-Ro ship is also higher compared to a conventional cargo ship. Additionally, the most striking design difference is in its ramp. The ramp is the side wall of the ship, and on a Ro-Ro ship, it is higher than that of a conventional cargo ship. The Ro-Ro ship has a movable ramp that can be raised and lowered for vehicle access, much like a bridge. This feature allows for easy loading and unloading of vehicles, making it an ideal choice for transporting large quantities of cars and heavy machinery.
The most commonly used Incoterm in the automobile trade is called free on board, which clearly establishes the point of transport of responsibility and cost from the seller to the buyer when the cargo is placed on the board the vessel at the port of origin. This term benefits both parties by providing clarity and simplicity, with the seller assuming transportation costs to the loading port. FOB offers flexibility in organizing transportation, crucial in the automobile trade, where methods can vary. Therefore, it is crucial for buyers and sellers to carefully evaluate their requirements and negotiate terms that align with their individual circumstances to ensure a successful and mutually beneficial transaction.
Let's now talk a little bit about some private standards and also some companies we consider really useful for this type of internationalization processes. The survey conducted by the Colombian Association of Automotive Manufacturers, the ACFA, in 2021 found out that safety is an important factor for 75% of Colombian consumers when purchasing a new vehicle. 68% of Colombian consumers are willing to pay more for a vehicle with additional safety features, according to a 2022 Nielsen IQ study. Logística del Sur is a Colombian company with more than 10 years of experience in logistics. They offer services related to foreign trade, such as advice on prices and logistic processes, international land, sea and air transportation, custom management, and others. Logística del Sur can understand the specific needs of this type of transportation due to its extensive experience in handling vehicle cargo. This improves the efficiency and safety of transporting Toyota trucks from Japan to Colombia.
In Colombia, the relevant entities are the National Directorate of Taxes and Customs, responsible for tax collection and customs administration, the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, Ministry in charge of promoting economic development, foreign trade, and tourism, the Ministry of Transportation, responsible for the development and improvement of transportation and related infrastructure, and the Ministry of Environment and Sustainability Development, MATS, responsible for regulating environmental conditions and the use of natural resources. Additionally, there are entities such as ICA, INVIMA, Ministry of Mines, Ministry of Agriculture, Superintendents of Surveillance and Private Security, National Mining Agency, and UNAP, which are governmental regulatory bodies that could apply to approve if the vehicle serves purposes other than the transportation of people. On the other hand, in Japan, the relevant entities include the Japan Customs, responsible for tax collection, security, and trade facilitation, the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, METI, tasked with developing Japan's economy and industry, the Ministry of Environment, responsible for land, environment conservation, and pollution control, and the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism, and LEED, responsible for overseeing land management, infrastructure, transportation, and tourism. Finally, it is worth mentioning that there are non-governmental entities relevant to both countries, such as the National Association of Sustainability, Mobility, and Demos for Colombia, which represents vehicle brands to defend free trade and fair commercial practices, and the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association, JAMA, which promotes the healthy development of the automotive industry.
We really hope as a team this video was useful for you and to acquire those knowledge that you need to start an importation process. Do remember it is pretty important to analyze the countries you are going to be able to reach via this internationalization process. For example, it is important to take into account the CGRs, the LIPs, and also to know the modes of transportation and the Incoterm mode that you are going to use via this process of importation. We really hope that it was useful for you, that you acquired the knowledge you need. Please do check the written report. Via the written report, you're going to have all the complete information regarding all the step-by-steps of this internationalization process. Also, do check the annexes. In the annexes, you'll be able to find from Annex A to D those documents that will be required in the internationalization process. For example, the commercial invoices, the declarations of importation, and the declaration of exportation. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy this video.